For many of us, these are just stories and headlines that keep us glued to the screens of our TVs and phones. To others, it is statistics, numbers, and nameless additions to data collection. But to the victims of domestic violence and their families, this is a matter of life and death. The physical scars tell very little of the emotional damage that Liinekeka has to face every day of her life while living the trauma of the incident. Liinekeka is a victim of domestic violence, and this is her story.
Dzina langa mekanjabanga Liinekeka mwene onkali mama kuli anga ndakupa mama epeko aningiro memenonyona.
May 11th, 2014 will forever be stamped in Liinekeka's memory. On that fateful day, her long battle of domestic violence almost got her killed by her boyfriend. Liinekeka was brutally abused and left with no fingers and deep cut wounds by the boyfriend. He cut her badly on the head and forehead, cutting her some of her fingers, deep cut wounds on her back and ears with a panga.
Akusho kungana kuma pepangu kungaku no pombuda na makulu kangomu no kenyala ne na kungana apa.
So this all started when Liinekeka's friend informed her boyfriend that she was allegedly cheating on him. That weekend, Liinekeka traveled to Windhoek from the farm where she was working to sell her kapana. When she returned home, her boyfriend started to question why she had been cheating on him. She tried to reassure her boyfriend that she was not having an affair with anyone and it was all a made-up story. While arguing, he grabbed a pilot and started hitting her with it. During the argument, she told her boyfriend Simpson that she was leaving him and her job because she was tired of being his punching bag whenever he was drunk. She packed her belongings and prepared to leave the next morning, not knowing that Simpson would try to kill her that evening.
Tulina mondo datu se sasa mndanga onde le grandala ngranu jato yange kuchaka sidure ke nante pilonga hashi shena pi yange ke ko falama pombalio ku kumunyane po mo 11 na manga mo jonti tano takupane kata na talongu longa.
While sleeping around 2 a.m., her boyfriend then attacked her with a panga and butchered her like meat. She cried and begged Simpson to stop, but he continued cutting her. She thought that that was the end of her life. After that, the boyfriend went back to bed, leaving her in the pool of blood on the ground. And after some time, Simpson stood up again and started slashing her with a panga again until he was certain that she was dead. He lifted up her leg to see if she was still alive, and he was certain that she was dead.
Tiataelu lange makulu. Kolo kangonde kasuna pekinga skeri. Yeta tengena kona tango ne katana pombuda. Katkombuda. Ndamwene ike hinanti ngenga saka.
Simpson took a mosquito net, climbed on the bed and attempted to hang himself for the first time, but he failed. He then went to a different side where he eventually committed suicide. When Liinekeka realized there was complete silence, she crawled out of the room and crawled to her boss's house, which was quite a distance from where she stayed. When she arrives at her boss's house, he immediately calls an ambulance and the police. Her boss rushed her to the hospital because the ambulance was taking too long to arrive and she was losing a lot of blood.
Dawako nala koshipango nantia kono minute dasa. Koshipango ndakate pe koma kipenyo po anu adole basiwe kuonja.
Liinekeka had been in the hospital for a month and was unable to do anything on her own. It took several months for her wounds to heal physically and for her to adjust to her new life. She claims that it was difficult for her and that she was afraid of what society would think of her. People used to call her names and make fun of her hands, but she has gotten used to it now. Liinekeka now has 3 children and she claims that the father of her children is of no difference. When he gets drunk, he used to abuse her and beat her up. She reported him to the police several times, but nothing changed, and she ultimately ended her relationship with him. She states that she lives in constant fear of relationships, and she vows to herself that she will never enter another relationship again. She claims that her children's father does not support her in any way, and that she survives only on the disability grant and the kapana meat that she sells. Therefore, if you want to help Liinekeka raise her children, please do click the Giving Life link in the description box below. This is Patriotism with Elizabeth. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.